Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Living Legends. I believe this is just a one-shot. Somebody at the comic book store told me, sorry, here, there's her face, Janet Van Dyne, and it's not Hank Pym, Scott Lang, all right, these two. What do you call it? Somebody at the comic book store told me this was an ongoing series. Lies, lies. There's no way this is ongoing, all right? Anyway, am I wearing the right shirt? Am I wearing the right shirt for this? So this was a fun comic book. If you remember back in Tales to Astonish issue number 49, I actually they mention it there. Thank God they mentioned it because I love when the editors go and throw in, hey, what they're talking about in this panel actually happened in this comic book way back in the day. I love when they do that because that's how you're going to get people to sign up for the Marvel Unlimited app so they go back and see these comic books. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. I'm just saying. So I didn't actually need it because I was a huge Tales to Astonish buff back in the day. I was actually angry at the Hulk and Namor when they eventually took over the Ant-Man stories in Tales to Astonish. I know, that's how nerdy I was, but regardless, this was a pretty good comic book. This is reminiscent of the Living Laser, the Living Eraser, the Human Eraser. Is that what I can't remember what it was actually called, but it was something to that effect. Anyway, yeah, they have that back in here. They have the tech and everything. So this was this was fun, man. This was a really fun issue where they actually go back and they look at that story and whatnot. I'm trying to remember what the guy's name was. I'm sure they're going to say it on here someplace. The palm-sized eraser. Come on, what the heck was his name? Yeah, the Living Eraser. There it is. Kutza. So that was a fun story. It was silly. The first time that Dimension Z was ever mentioned in a superhero version of the Marvel Comics. Anyway, this is not necessary for anybody to buy. So, you know, if you're a fan, like the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie are going to be coming out pretty soon. The story looks pretty good. I'm going to do spotlights on stories for all that good stuff pretty soon. I've already done the Ghost Explained in a minute. I'm going to do a couple more explained, like 10 things about coming up. But this comic book in and of itself, it was a fun read. I didn't need it to go to an issue 2, although it would have been fun if it did. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of Ant-Man and the Wasp out right now. You got Mark Waid's story, which that review should already be up. And you've also got a True Believers, which is the $1 comics that Marvel releases. So you don't have to go back and try and find an older version of this. It's a $1 comic book. You buy it, wham, bam, thank you, man. You can pull it out if it gets ruined, because if it gets wrecked because it's sitting out for too long, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It was only a $1 comic book, you know? Can you remember how long ago it was since comics were only $1? So I'm cool with that. And that's just a story of the first appearance of Giant Man, the first time that Hank Pym went the other way with his Pym particles. So really good stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Ant-Man out, high anticipation for the movie. It looks good. The trailers look great. And this is a nice little comic book to throw in with it. Anyway, I'm out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.